Hi, my name is Tara Pieper, and I am a fourth grade teacher. About 4 months ago, I had gone to see my ENT. I'd been having a lot of trouble with what I thought was a persistent ear infection, and they had done some scans to find out exactly what the problem might be. A week or two later, I received a call from my ENT that said my sinuses were clear, but they had found a brain aneurysm. At that time, I remember standing in my kitchen and just falling to my knees. I was very healthy. I exercised, and I just could not believe that this was a diagnosis that someone at my age would have. My ENT referred me to Dr. Adam Arthur at Semmes Murphey, and little did I know that when I first heard that name, that would be the man that would eventually save my life.
Tara had an aneurysm on an artery in her brain, but the aneurysm had not yet caused her any symptoms or problems. It had been discovered, sometimes we call that incidentally discovered on imaging. And so her condition health-wise was fine, except that she was frightened and anxious. Aneurysms are scary, and to be told that you have one and it could rupture at any point, I think is pretty alarming for patients. So she needed, right up front, information. She needed to know how dangerous her condition was and what her options were.
I made an appointment with him, but I quickly called back because we were getting ready to leave for vacation, and I knew that I would not be able to enjoy myself if I didn't have more details about what procedure I might have to have done. So they ended up getting me in within a couple of days, and I knew right then that Semmes Murphey was a very special place. I met with Dr. Arthur, and he took a lot of time with me. I think we were actually in the office for a good hour and a half. And he basically told me how serious my brain aneurysm was. Not only was it in the worst possible location, it was irregularly shaped, and the surgeries that most patients would have were really not great options for me.
It just so happened that we were gearing up for the first United States trial of a new device built specifically to treat aneurysms like her aneurysm.
But with that came being the first person in the United States to have this procedure. That's when he told me that he was one of the surgeons that had been studying a new procedure overseas called the web, and he thought that I would be a great candidate for that.
One of the things that we did to try to make it safer was we actually made a robotic model of her specific arteries and her aneurysms, and so we practiced treating a model of Tara before we treated her. And this helped the team and myself to be more comfortable with what we were doing. We were able to get to where we needed to go and deploy this device into the aneurysm safely and effectively, but there was a complication. The aneurysm began to bleed. In some circumstances, this can be devastating. I mean, this is what we were trying to avoid, but we were fortunate to be able to stop the bleeding very quickly, and she didn't suffer any consequences of that. She was able to leave the hospital within a couple days and pretty much go back to her regular life, which is what we want when we have surgery, is not to have it slow us down.
Other people told me after the fact that Dr. Arthur was just cool as a cucumber. He took care of everything. He took care of me. And to this day, I'm just so thankful for Semmes Murphey that they are willing to go out on a limb, to look at different procedures and different surgeries for patients like me. And all of that was orchestrated over years and years and years, but it all came together at the perfect time to save my life.